Hello, good afternoon. My name is Lucas. I work on networking stuff for the Foundations team. Today I want to talk about some of the bits that we've worked on last cycle. All right, so as some of you might be aware, Netplan is a tool that allows to control the network configuration in a declarative way. It is a pretty low-level tool. It's not very user-facing, but with this new Netplan status command, we want to make it a bit more user-friendly. So the new subcommand Netplan status will query the actively running system and query all the networking state as represented in the kernel. And it will transform this data and information into a nicely formatted and colorful terminal output. The terminology used to display that information correlates closely with the terminology that is used in the Netplan configuration on disk, so that the user can easily find the corresponding file settings that they need to modify if they want to change certain aspects of their configuration. So how does it work? We're using certain technology. In the backend, we're using IP route 2, which is pretty close to the netlink layer, but it provides a nice way to consume the JSON output for some basic data like IP addresses, link layer information, or routing data. We also query Netplan supported backend renderers, which are systemd, networkd, and network manager to query some more high-level information like Wi-Fi SSIDs. And we query systemd resolved through its dbus API to query system-wide DNS configuration of in the front end, we're using the Python 3 rich module, which allows to format the terminal output in a colorful way and nicely formatted way, which we use to highlight more important data, like things that have been configured explicitly by the administrator, while making less important data go to the background a little bit by graying it out. Stuff like routes that got added automatically by the kernel or by a background daemon. The front end allows or can detect and has a fallback mechanism or console, like whenever the output is like redirected to a file or to a pipe or like on a serial console, it will detect that automatically and fall back to basic black and white output. Some of the features include that this tool will query all the network interfaces, not just the one controlled by Netplan directly. It will also show all the information for interfaces that got configured manually by the administrator or maybe by another networking daemon that is running in parallel. It allows to query global system information like the fallback DNS servers of the system in addition to the per interface data. It supports the common interface types like Ethernets, Wi-Fi's, modems, bridges, WireGuard tunnels, etc. And it allows to, in addition to displaying the information in a human-readable, nicely formatted way on the terminal, it allows to have that same data readily available in JSON or YAML output, like in machine-readable output, which can easily be consumed by third-party applications. We do have some plans for the future. For example, we will enable the tool to display the differences between the active networking state and the intended configuration, which is stored on disk, and show it in a programmatic way. And there's more, like querying much more. Like networking is a beast, and there's so much information. We want to extend it to query all kinds of stuff like policy-based routing, OVS, and we want to query that on much lower levels in the networking stack. All of this is readily available and pre-installed on your Luna systems today, so give it a try. And if you want to learn more, find us on GitHub or in the Foundations team room. Thank you very much.